Welcome to the Anime Audiophile Podcast. Enjoy. Sasuke Shinden, Book of Sunrise. Chapter 2 Part 2. Ah. You really are a self-serving old man, Kiryu murmured, exasperated. It seemed they knew each other. S.H. Shut up. Enough out of you, you evil man. Anything's fine, boy. He killed my daughter. He's the root of all evil. Hurry up and kill this man. What are you talking about, old man? Sasuke's my hero, you know. Kiryu's eyes glittered. So obviously, it'll be me killing Sasuke. He brought his hands together. I will go beyond you. Hardly listening to Kiryu's proclamations, Sasuke clad his unsheathed blade in electricity and aimed the tip at the other man's stomach. Whoops. Can't let you do that. Earth style. Mud wall. A wall of earth shot up with great force from within the ground. Kiryu continued to his signs. Lava style. Rubber wall. Kiryu bent his torso back and expelled what rose up from within his body at the wall. Sasuke's sword touched the wall and the electric charge vanished. Rubber is resistant to lightning style. A wall of earth enveloped in rubber. It appeared that Kiryu had a Kakegenkai called lava style that produced rubber. Hidden behind this wall, Kiryu continued to knead his chakra. Your boss is serious this time. Everyone, get back. The men of Dark Thunder flew out of the village like they were running away. Lava style. Rubber ball. Kiryu called out the technique name, and balls of various sizes shot out of his mouth, rolling along the ground. The rolling spheres looked like traditional woven Japanese balls. Gah! And now! Kiryu slowly raised his arms. As he did, the balls bobbed up into the air. Conversely, when he lowered his hands, the balls dropped. In line with his hand movements, the balls began to bounce somewhat eerily. Here we go. Kiryu punched a ball close to him with his fist. He whirled his body around and hit a different ball with a backhand blow. He kicked a ball flying low to the ground in front of him before grabbing the final ball to his side, leaping up high, and flinging it at Sasuke. The four balls closed in on Sasuke, each with its own trajectory. However, it wasn't difficult to read those trajectories. Sasuke dodged the balls and tried to get closer to Kiryu. We're just beginning. Kiryu sensed Sasuke's movements and wove signs. A protrusion suddenly rose up beneath Sasuke's feet. The ground continued to rise. When he was about to lose his balance, a new ball came flying at him. Sasuke flipped backward and twisted around to dodge it. Still more to come. Kiryu used earth style and created high walls, one after another. As he did, the balls he had released hit them and bounced back, creating even more complicated trajectories. The balls closed in on Sasuke from all directions. TCH. One of them hit his thigh. The ball bounced slightly back, but it had no sooner hit him than a dull pain ran through the bone like an echo. The balls likely contained needed chakra to increase the power of a hit. He would get nowhere like this. Sasuke tried to catch Kiryu in a genjutsu with his Sharingan. Come on, then. Try and catch me. Kiryu grabbed a villager whose legs had been broken so he couldn't run away, and thrust him forward. Eee! Stop, the villager screamed, pushed forward like a shield. Sasuke shifted his gaze momentarily. TCH. Kiryu didn't just say he adored Sasuke, he had actually looked into Sasuke in some detail. When Sasuke tried to get closer, the balls got in his way, and if he used any big techniques, the villagers would be dragged into it. Or rather, the entire village might be destroyed. The techniques he could use to stop Kiryu with minimal damage were limited. You monster! IOU shouted. At IOU's unthinking cry, Kiryu laughed, still clutching the villager. A monster has no right to call me a monster. What did you say? Kiryu flung the villager down to the ground and glared at IOU. Although he had seemed to be having great fun up to that point, he turned serious for a moment. The second things aren't convenient for you, you toss us aside. How do you have any right to say anything to anyone? NGH, Sasuke hadn't heard anything about this from IOU. But what was important to him at that moment was not their stories. The bouncing balls. The earth-style walls that appeared when he tried to get closer. The lava-style rubber that snuffed out electricity. And the people being held hostage. Sasuke's eyes, his Sharingan, memorized the state of this hectic movement. And then finally, they reflected IOU and the bamboo grove. Sasuke turned his back to Kiryu. "HM? Hey!" Kiryu shouted. "Where are you going?" Sasuke ignored him and stepped into IOU's house through the ruined wall. Just as he grabbed a hold of the object he wanted, an enormous ball assaulted IOU's house. Immediately escaping the building, Sasuke poured his chakra into the object he had acquired. Jumping up high with the rising earthen wall as a foothold, Sasuke aimed for Kiryu. I have these rubber walls." Kiryu moved to protect himself with the rubber walls as he had done throughout the fight. However, the rubber bounced back, and the earthen wall that appeared beneath it crumbled. Not only that, the balls all around Kiryu were all destroyed at once. What's going on? I don't know this technique. Kiryu dropped his surprised gaze to his feet and saw a bamboo skewer stuck there. One of the ones IOU had made. A skewer? You couldn't possibly have kneaded your chakra into a skewer and destroyed the rubber? The tapered point of the bamboo. And this was just a diversion. Damn it. At the moment Kiryu sensed the aura and gasped, he heard the call of a plover signaling the end. Once Sasuke had defeated Kiryu and taken care of the members of the Dark Thunder group who had been watching things play out from outside the village, Chino and Nawaki brought the villagers back. They were all injured in some way or another, but fortunately, none of them had been killed. The men of the Dark Thunder group were restrained inside of the shed in the village for the time being. Sassy, looks like they're waking up. Evening fell, and when Kiryu regained consciousness, Sasuke and the others went into the shed. Quite the sorry state, Kiryu murmured, looking at himself and his comrades tied up around him. Then he looked up at Sasuke, before shifting his gaze to IOU. At the sight of IOU with bandages wound around his stomach, Kiryu let out a contemptuous laugh. IOU flushed red with anger at this challenge. I thought I told you to kill him. So why is he locked up in here? IOU complained to Sasuke. Sasuke looked down on Kiryu. You said you were tossed aside. What did you mean? The second things aren't convenient for you, you toss us aside. How do you have any right to say anything to anyone? In the middle of the fight, Kiryu had spat this at IOU. But Sasuke didn't know the details behind this. What's the point of asking about that? IOU cried. It doesn't change the fact that they're evil. If you're going to yell, go outside. I can't make any decisions until I know everything. Sasuke's words made IOU swallow hard. Can't you just look with the Sharingan? Kiryu teased, but Sasuke simply stared silently at him until he guffawed and looked away. My lava style is a Kekigenkai. Although in Kumagakure, shinobi who use the same lava style as I do are apparently given important posts, I was born into a small country village. So every time a fight broke out with an outsider, our clan was made to stand at the very front lines. They said that it was only natural to contribute to the village, given that we had special powers. Because of that, everyone died young. Kiryu slowly told the tale of his own past. I knew I'd be killed by the village one day too, so I left. The village sent ninja after me to kill me. I fled desperately, but my back was pushed up against the wall. I couldn't run anymore. And then, the Bright Lightning group took me in. That was back when they were called chivalrous thieves. The head of Bright Lightning group had a Kekigenkai he was persecuted for, too, just like me. Which was exactly why he wanted to be an ally to the weak. He crushed people doing evil things and gave the money he got from them to the poor. Like to this village, IOU pressed his lips together tightly. We were treated almost like heroes. Whenever we showed ourselves, the people of the villages welcomed us. They gave us food and lodging. Good times. So they had built good relationships at the time. Then how did this tragedy come about? Seeing how we didn't belong to any village and yet we wielded power, ninja villages tried to use that, Kiryu continued. They had us crush the source of capital for hostile ninja villages. It was like that then, too. During the era of the previous Mizukage, Kirigakure offered us work. They asked us to go attack the senior officials of a land that was squeezing money from the weak. This was the era when Kirigakure was known as the Village of Bloody Mist. The face of Momochi Zabuza as they faced off on a mission with Team 7 popped up in the back of Sasuke's mind. He had been a man with terrible bloodlust. For us, Kirigakure was a valued client. However, when we attacked the group of officials they told us to, ninja from Kirigakure appeared and surrounded us, of all things. The ninja of Kirigakure, gallantly arriving to save the officials in a tight spot. So, well, Kirigakure used us to curry favor with the officials. Kiryu let out a sigh, like he was cursing their fate. We knew too much. They dealt with us efficiently. They also had the ulterior motive of trying to build a channel with the officials. They had lined up their best and brightest. We lost comrades, but we just barely managed to escape with our lives, thanks to the chief's lava techniques. We arrived here in the village of Takino. We said, please let us rest here, just for a little while. We had no intention of causing any trouble for the village. We planned to leave soon. The answer came back quickly enough, go somewhere else. Sasuke could feel the coldness of those words. It was more than enough to make a person despair. If we had hidden you, they might have hurt us too. IOU protested. And to begin with, it's mighty nervy of you to take on such a big shot attitude when all you were doing was handing out money you took from someone else. Such memories, Kiryu replied. Those are the very words you said to me when I pleaded with you, with my comrade in my arms on death's doorstep, to at least let him stay there, just for a very short while. The door to the village was very firmly closed, and we walked through the bamboo grove to another village. My comrade died along the way, you know. At every village, all the villages, the answer was the same. You wouldn't even give us a cup of water. There was hatred in Kiryu's eyes. IOU trembled at the light in them. The chief disbanded Bright Lightning, and everyone fled their own separate ways. It wasn't as though we had any dreams or hope. Fearing our Kiryu pursuers, we lived like rats for who knows how many years. And then I heard about you attacking the summit of the Five Kages, Sasuke. Kiryu narrowed his eyes, as if remembering that time. I was so moved at the way you lived as you pleased, not bending before the fate of the Kekikinkai. I wanted to be like you. So I got some new comrades together and formed the Dark Thunder Group. Our objective, revenge. Sasuke remained silent. At first, there were only a few of us, but after the Fourth Great War, we gradually grew in number. With fewer battles, ninja were out of work, and they left their villages to join up with us. And now that we have plentiful strength, we're carrying out our vengeance on the villages that rejected us. So that gives you an excuse to kill everyone? IOU shouted. Some people have nothing to do with any of this, you know? Why would you do something so awful? You all were living so happily, stupid faces out in the sun, not feeling any kind of pain. That alone was annoying. So we crushed all of you. A fierce malice bled onto Kiryu's face. Getting revenge was fun. The way your daughter wept and begged for her life, it was magnificent. Why, you monster! I'll kill you. IOU started to fly at Kiryu, and Milwaukee hurried to stop him. Was there no other way? Milwaukee asked. Kiryu dropped his eyes. I wouldn't have been able to stand it any other way, he replied. Sasuke watched over all this with a bitter taste in his mouth. It was almost like he was looking at his old self. Milwaukee returned the agitated IOU to his home rather forcefully. The wall of IOU's house was destroyed, and the building was smashed here and there in other ways, but there was a roof and a bed. IOU had a place to rest. Sasuke left the shed and went on his own into the bamboo grove, where he spotted a rock and sat down. He pulled out a piece of the paper he carried for communication and wrote a concise description of the events in Takino, before entrusting it to the hawk he called with his mind and sending the bird toward Konoha. How to deal with Dark Thunder wasn't a problem Sasuke could resolve on his own. He wanted to seek the Hokage Kakashi's judgment. Sasuke had originally been working to investigate the large number of shinobi who had disappeared, but he couldn't very well leave Takino before he got a response from Konoha. Sasuke looked up at the sky. A hazy moon hung beyond the bamboo leaves. The chain of hatred that wrapped again and again around the pillar of vengeance. Wasn't there a way to save people from it? It's not easy. The words slipped out of his mouth. And then he sighed and went back to keep watch over the Dark Thunder group to at least prevent any further tragedy. End of part 2. Thank you for listening. Remember to like and subscribe for lots more.